Hi Olivia, it is Mrs. Olson. I thought I would make this video to provide feedback for the summative assessment on 5.10.1. Okay, so it was just a little bit easier for me to be able to talk through with you on some of the suggestions that I have for editing this summative assessment. Okay, so before we begin, please don't think that you are in trouble, that you did anything wrong, nothing of the sort whatsoever. Okay, sometimes when I have time, it is more beneficial, I think, if I can lead somebody through what they have written rather than just writing them some feedback. So that's my explanation for the video feedback. All right, so here we go. What I did is I took your written submission, I copied and pasted it onto this Word document here. Okay, and then I have actually already started editing it just a little bit, and so we'll talk through what I have done so far. So the first part is your introduction, that is defining and explaining what the scientific revolution is, okay? And since we're talking about a period in history, it's going to be considered a proper noun. So we want to say scientific revolution and have it be capitalized, the scientific and the revolution be capitalized, okay? Now, I know that you credited Apex with your, as far as citing where you got your information from. So that's good. Even though you have cited the source, which is Apex, if you are going to use somebody else's words, you need to put it in quotes. So these two sentences come straight from Apex. And again, it's okay, but if you're going to do that, you have to put it in quotes so that the reader knows that you are not the one that wrote those, okay? Or here's another option. You don't have to quote it, and I can help you to write it in your own words, okay? And I know sometimes that is easier said than done. So here's one way to think about what this first sentence says. It says, the scientific revolution was marked by the emergence of modern science. So the scientific revolution began with the emergence of modern science. Okay, we got that, which is largely defined by the use of the scientific method. What if we shorten that a little bit? The scientific revolution began with ideas related to the scientific method. Okay, so I am going to leave this on here for you to use. I'm going to send this whole thing to you. I'm going to leave this on here for you to use, but then I want you to use your own words and explain how the scientific method, I'm going to start abbreviating a little bit, how the scientific method helped people to think differently. And it is very okay to use Apex to find some examples on how the scientific method helped people to think differently. Okay, so then you went on to explain, or rather describe, what made the scientific revolution with this sentence here. So after this, so keep this, after this, you want to insert specific examples. So Copernicus could definitely be one. If I'm going to move Apex into view, and I went to page 16. Let me show you. I went to page 16 of 2.2.2 to give us just this table of key scientists and what they did, what they were known for, so that you can pick a few out of here as your supporting evidence, okay? I was trying to find specific examples in Apex regarding how human bodies function, and I don't think that there's one in there. Not to say that it doesn't exist, but if we're just using Apex, there isn't one in that section 2.2.2. Okay. So after you have inserted your specific historic examples, you're mostly going to use those scientists. You went on to then explain what came out of the scientific revolution. Okay, so here again, this part, I know that this sentence, because I was able to copy it and paste it into Google, I know that this sentence comes from Lumen Learning. And I think you took out the word mathematics. Once again, you're not in trouble, but I need you to understand that if we use another source's words or another person's words, we either have to give them credit or we have to change it around enough so that it isn't exactly like theirs, okay? So, you could put this in quotes here unless you want to rearrange this sentence. And I'm just thinking right here for a second. Give me a minute. Okay, so here you might want to insert a specific example of a scientist or naturalist, which is a word, who did just that. Observed the natural world. Okay, you could probably find something in Apex that has to do with that. Okay. All right, so I am going to make this, actually, it needs to be blue because that's what we were doing before. Okay, so that's blue and that's blue. Okay, in a time when many people were looking for new answers to life's biggest questions, reason and science appeared to be succeeding where tradition and religion failed. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this led to another period of great change, the Enlightenment. You are right, it did, and now you need to define and discuss the Enlightenment. Okay? And then go ahead and go to Apex unless you want to go to a different source and insert 2 specific examples for contributors of the Enlightenment. Okay. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to make those blue. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Thanks for sticking with me. If you did get to the end of this video, this is me trying to help you and kind of work one-on-one. I know it's not in real time. I wish it could be in real time, and we can definitely set up a Zoom if you want to work in real time together because I am more than willing to work with students that way too. All right, Olivia, hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye.